morning I'm here in Denver, North Carolina at Mass Acceleration Motorsports, where we're going to put my Procharged Challenger SRT up on the dyno, check how much boost it's running, and if needed, get a tune. These guys are the absolute best in the business, especially when it comes to tuning and adding power to Mopars. So this is the best place to get some baseline numbers and see how high we can get the horsepower and torque. Watch to see the process. Mass Acceleration Motorsports is a high-performance automotive repair, service, and build shop just north of Charlotte, North Carolina. They do it all, from dyno tuning to engine calibration, service, repair, and even complete car builds. They have a proven track record of making cars seriously fast in multiple applications. They even do complete engine builds. The master technicians at Mass Acceleration Motorsports have decades of experience, and when I say they're the best in the industry, I mean it. These guys not only modify and build cars to be crazy fast, but their builds deliver reliable performance. Whether you want to do drag racing, road racing, autocross, land speed records, or just have an amazing street car, they can build it. One of their areas of expertise is Mopars, but whatever you have, whether it's a Chevy, a Dodge, a Maserati like this, or even a purpose-built race car, they can make it faster and better. And they do trackside support as well. The day I was there, they had this amazing road racing Corvette that they built up on the dyno for final check before sending it to the client. As you can see, a lot of engineering went into this build. Check out this one-off engine and custom cooling fabricated in-house by MXA. 1,000 horsepower at the rear wheels on the road course is going to be incredible. I'm getting this car that I bought 2 weeks ago ready for a track day at Carolina Motorsports Park and drag racing. When I was working on the car a few days before, I noticed some oil on the underside of the Procharger. So I asked the techs at Mass Acceleration to look at it to see if it was a problem or if maybe the previous owner had just overfilled the Procharger oil tank. They inspected the underside of the Procharger and also did a Procharger oil change. These guys know Prochargers better than anybody, so having them do the first service on the Procharger since I bought the car brings me a lot of peace of mind, especially with how much thrashing I'm going to do on the racetrack. They emptied the old oil and added fresh Procharger oil. After the dyno pulls you'll see shortly, they put it back up on the lift to check for leaks, and luckily the Procharger wasn't leaking. I love checking out my carbon fiber drive shaft, and there's the differential brace I installed last week. They also had to drain a good amount of fluid from the radiator tank as the dealership had overfilled the coolant, and Prochargers need a lot of room for expansion. The service is complete, the Procharger is healthy, and the car is getting ready for the dyno. I mainly wanted to get it dynoed to check the boost level from the Procharger. These 392s can't reliably handle more than 6 pounds of boost on stock internals. So I wanted to make sure that the boost level was conservative enough that I could thrash on it on the road course and not have to worry about blowing a piston. The car was built by the previous owner in Houston, Texas, and at that time they dynoed it at 561 horsepower at the rear wheels. I was also interested if the car lost horsepower when I added catalytic converters, and if there'd be any difference in numbers with the exhaust cutouts open and closed. Let's see the numbers. boost was only reaching about 4.2 pounds, super conservative, and I can thrash on the car without worry about the engine. If we look at pull 2, we see that yes, having the exhaust cutouts open is good for about an additional 10 horsepower and 7 foot-pounds of torque compared to closed on this stock exhaust setup. Also, the car didn't lose any power with the addition of catalytic converters. 571 horsepower at the rear wheels, which is well over 600 horsepower at the crank, on a super conservative 4 pounds of boost is pretty good. So I don't need a tune or a pulley swap just yet. A big thank you to Mass Acceleration Motorsports for working on my car, and especially for being a segment presenter on the Track Shaker How to Get on Track video. They support us, so please support them. Whatever your build goals are, 500 horsepower or 2,000 horsepower, road racing or drag racing, Mass Acceleration is the place to go to add power to your car.